Yes, now a business, particularly when we talk about joint stock companies, then only the financial reporting standards come across. Because a joint stock company has to follow the reporting standards to the shareholders. Management is different, ownership is different. Now, segment reporting means what? Normally, in case of joint stock company, take any example you will find, they will be having several segments. Segments may be geographical segments, or segments may be product or business segments. For example, generally you'll find that joint stock company means it's a very huge form of a business organization. These days, sole proprietorship and partnership itself are running at various places. Okay, Mahakali Sevusad, which was at only near that polo ground one area. Today you'll find it in every complex. It's there in Pujil also. So many places you'll find it. So small businesses itself have expanded so much, and we are talking about a joint stock company. Will it be doing a business at one place only? They'll be having, otherwise the company cannot be formed only. Why will people invest in your shares? So joint stock company means it's quite obvious that it is doing business at various places in the whole country. And so it will not be having one segment, but it will be having various segments. These segments are called geographical segments. Okay. The other is business or product segments. A joint stock company generally does not do business of one product only. They have variety of products. Even if you talk about a garment, then they'll be having variety of products in garments. Shirts, trousers, jeans, suits, etc. Even if we talk about a company manufacturing shoes, in that also there are variety of products. Kids shoes, infants shoes, male, female, sandals, chappals, variety of things. So in that product also various segments are awesome. Okay. Now, first of all, they make the accounting for each segment separately. The company does the accounting for each segment. So segments meaning is clear. Any part of an organization, either you can divide it on the basis of area, or you can divide it on the basis of product. Okay, any part of business, either you can divide it on the basis of area, where they are operating different areas, or you can divide it on the basis of product. One is called geographical segment, the other is called business segment. So every segment's accounting is done separately by the company so that they can come to know which segment is profitable and which segment is making loss. Even geographical wise also, the joint stock company always make every area's accounting P&L balance sheet separately, so that they can identify if any one branch or segment or area is incurring loss for a long period of time, they can wind up their operations. And if it's profit making, then they can find the ways to develop it further. And in products also, if you are dealing in 20 different products and 2 products are incurring loss, then you can close the operations of those 2 segments, those 2 products. So company does the accounting for each segment separately, maybe geographical, maybe business. The question arises, how to report it to the shareholders? Report will become so lengthy and confusing. Because if you have 100 segments, which is quite possible, you can be operating in 100 areas or not. If you talk about a joint stock company, maybe having, even if it has a branch in every city in a state, it will be having so many segments. And if you try to develop the products, then you'll find one company easily deals in 40 to 50 variety of products. So how to find which segments to be reported to the shareholders and which should not be reported to the shareholders? Materiality concept, do you remember in accountancy? What was the materiality concept? Materiality concept in accounting. Concepts and conventions we are done. Going concern, dual aspect, accounting period, accrual, cost, realization.
There should be something materialistic thing and not an intangible thing while transaction.
No. Materiality concept, what was it? one remembers, all of your accountancy students. After third year graduation, keep this in mind, it's very important. Whenever you go for an interview, they'll ask you, being an accountancy student, the concepts. Concepts of accounting they'll ask you, and reserves and provisions they'll ask you. These are very important things when you go for an interview. Any concept they can ask, what is prudence, they can ask you randomly. And the moment you are totally silent, it looks as if you have heard the term for the first time. Straight away you are rejected in the interview. Now, even when we take the interviews of faculties, not from academics point of view, but otherwise also, this is the first thing, basic things we ask. So to find out the person is clear with the concepts of accounting. But materiality was, if anything is significant, then it will be disclosed in the books of accounts. If it is insignificant, no need to report it separately to the shareholders. So dustbin, by the nature, it's a fixed asset. Because dustbin may remain in your place at more than 1 year period of time. But we don't show it in fixed assets. Land and building 10 lakhs, furniture 5 lakhs, dustbin 50 rupees. We show that dustbin as an expense in P&L account debit side. Because of materiality, it's immaterial. Though the nature is fixed, the amount is very small. So because of that, we show it in P&L. So material means significant. That concept we are going to apply in reporting. If any segments revenue, repeat. Segment is fine. Revenue. If any segments revenue or profit or loss or assets are material, they should be reported. You don't have to go by the standards that profit, then report loss, then don't report to the shareholders. If it's a negligible loss, you will not report. But if the loss is material, significant, you will report. If the revenue, loss and profit is not significant, but one segment is having a lot of sales, but because of huge expenses, maybe profit is not identical, but sales are immense, then that is again a significant thing you will report. Now, one segment is having no revenue, no profit loss, but you have incurred a lot of expense on that branch. Assets are huge, that should be reported. So, simple materiality concept is to be followed. Any segment which has either material revenue or material profit or loss or material assets should be reported. And what is this material? Repeat, 10%. Total revenue of the whole business. If any one segment has more than 10% of that revenue, it's material. If any one segment's profit or loss is more than 10% or at least 10% of overall profit or loss, whichever is higher, then it should be reported. And if any one segment's assets are more than or at least 10% of the total assets of the whole organization, that segment should be reported. So simple materiality concept is to be followed. Any segment which has either material revenue or material profits or losses or material assets should be reported. Did everyone understand? What is this material? Minimum 10%. If 10% of the whole organization, then that segment is considered to be a significant contributor to the organization. That should be reported to the shareholders. Did you understand the basics? Any doubts on this? So once again, which are the two types of segments possible? Business segment and geographical segment. Okay. What is the geographical segment? Classification on the basis of area. And what is the business segment? Classification according to the products. Any confusions on this? We will straight away concentrate on the practical part, reporting conditions. So, give the heading in your notebook. Steps for identifying a rough concept I gave you right now, that any segment having material, revenue or profit or loss or assets should be reported. Now we understand that in detail. So first, there are three basic conditions. Okay, first of all, there are three basic conditions. Segment revenue which means sales. Okay, first condition is segment revenue, which means sales. But if any segment's revenue in bracket internal plus external. What do you mean by internal? Segment to segment transfers. Okay, Baroda branch transfers the goods to Ahmedabad branch, earns profit in that. One department transfers the good to another department and earns profit in that. That is called internal revenue, internal sales. Finally, the sales is going to customer only. But then instead of directly Ahmedabad to customer, it is going Baroda to Ahmedabad, then Ahmedabad to customers. For Baroda also it should be accounting. Therefore, internal plus external. If any segment's revenue internal plus external is at least, I told you material means how much? At least 10% of total revenue of all segments. Revenue means sales. Okay, if any segment's revenue internal plus external is to 10% of, at least 10% of total revenue of all segments, then it should be reported. Okay, then that segment should be reported. Any confusion with the first condition? Any confusions up till here? Second, further what does it mean 10% of total means? Approximately 10 segments in number. Total business supposes 10 segments. Then 100 divided by 10, each segment will contribute roughly 10%. Now imagine a business has 100 segments. Still one segment is contributing, means that segment is equal to 10 segments of business. So automatically that segment contributes major income to the business. So it should be reported. Okay. Then segment results. Second condition is segment results, which means profit or loss. Okay, results condition, same thing. If any segment's result if any segment's result in bracket there is profit or loss is at least 10% of total absolute profits or losses, whichever is higher, then it should be reported. Then that segment should be reported. Now what does this total absolute profits or losses, whichever is higher, mean? Understand it. Suppose a business has 15 segments. How many? 15 segments. 11 segments are making profit. 4 are loss. 11 segments are making profits. 4 are incurring loss. First you find the total profits of 11 segments. Then you find total loss of 4 segments. And you take whichever is higher. Suppose total profits of 11 segments is 50 lakhs. Total loss of 4 segments is 5 lakhs. Which one is higher? 50 lakhs. Now you compare each segment with 50 lakhs only. If any segment, 50 lakhs 10%, 5 lakhs. If any segment has more than 5 lakhs of profit or more than 5 lakhs of loss, it should be reported. And suppose vice versa. Total profits of 11 segments is 20 lakhs. Only 4 segments in loss, but 25 lakhs. Then you consider 25 lakhs. Any segment which is having a profit or loss of more than 25 lakhs, 10%, 2 lakh 50,000 should be reported. Any segment having a profit or loss of less than 2 lakh 50,000 may not be reported. and may not be reported. It is the reporting standards. If the company wants, they can report all. But these are the minimum requirements. Minimum these segments should be reported. And if the company wishes, they can report more segments, but not less. More segments can be reported, but less segments cannot be reported. Did everyone understand this portion? Then third condition. So this higher part is clear to all of you. First we'll find the profitable segments profit. Then we'll find loss-making segments loss. And whichever is higher in proportion. Therefore I have written the word absolute. Ignore the sign. 20 lakhs profit, 25 lakhs loss. Whichever is higher doesn't mean don't say minus 25 lakhs is smaller than plus 20. Therefore I am using the word absolute. In magnitude 25 lakhs loss is more than 20 lakhs of profit. So whichever figure is higher, you will find all segments as percentage of that. And whichever segments profit or loss comes more than 10% of that should be reported. And last is segments assets condition. Segment assets. If any segment's assets is at least 10% of total assets of all segments, then that segment should be reported. Understood this, everyone? Any doubts in this? Now, additional conditions. These are the three basic conditions to be fulfilled. Materiality concept is followed here. Now give the heading additional conditions. They have to report it separately. Suppose segments A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They have to show it separately. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So A will be shown at a loss. And even if there is a B at profit, will be showing it, no problem.
But no, sir, if less than 10% is also recorded. So,
In amount it will be shown that loss is of 5 lakhs, profit is of 3 lakhs only. So shareholders can distinguish that segments are profitable but loss is huge one. So they can report all the segments if they want, but at least 10% if any segment is having the content, that segment has to be reported. Okay. Yes, now additional conditions, what is it, understand it? Suppose a company has 6 segments, A, B, C, D, E and F, suppose. A, B, C, D, E and F. As per the revenue condition, A and B are coming to be reported. Means A and B have sales more than 10% of total sales of the all segments. Okay? As per which condition? Revenue condition. You are getting the reportable standards as A and B. As per results condition, A and C are coming to be reported. A has profit and C has, let us say, loss, which is more than 10% of total loss or profit of absolute profit or loss of each, all segments taken together. As per segment assets condition, C and D are coming to be reported. So you are going to report A, B, C and D so far as per the 3 basic conditions. Okay, as per the 3 basic conditions, you will be reporting which segments to the shareholders out of 6 segments? A, B, C, D, E, F. Out of that you will be reporting A, B, C and D, because they fulfill at least one of the basic conditions, right? Now you do the total of A, B, C and D. If total revenue of A, B, C and D does not consist of 75% revenue of all the segments, then include more segments in reporting. Means you have to report to the shareholders at least those many segments which constitute 75% of revenue of business. Suppose A, B, C, D which you are reporting together, they contribute only 70% revenue to the organization. then you include either E or F, any one of the two, including which the total revenue of these segments crosses 75%. And if it's coming more than 75%, then no need to include any segments. You understand it? And which segment? Any segment. Including any segment by which the revenue crosses 75%. Okay, theoretically we are doing it. Practically you will not have any such situation. Okay, practically this condition is always going to be satisfied. Because every student's answer will differ then. So examiners trouble, some will include E, some will include F. And GHI are there, some will include I, some will include H. So therefore, practically when we solve it, and generally also, if you think the practical situations in life, then also, after applying these three conditions, you'll find that they constitute 75% of revenue. But in case if they don't, then you'll include more segments. So first additional condition, write down. All the above reportable segments external revenue. Yes, internal is not included, only external, because main revenue now we are seeing from whole organization's point of view. So from whole organization's point of view, revenue will be earned only when you sell it to the outside customers. So external revenue should be at least 75% of total revenue of all segments. Is everyone clear with this? If not, then more segments should be reported. If not, then more segments should be reported so that it crosses the percentage of 75. Is everyone clear with it? And second thing, wait a minute. If any segment has been reported in past, then you have to report it in the next year, invariably. Whether it's revenue or sales or profit or loss or assets are more than 10% or less than. Because once it has crossed 10%, then lifetime it has to be reported. If it has gone down, then you must inform it to the shareholders that this segment was once in a while a major segment of the business and now it is not contributing. So any segment reported in past means this year if we include A, B, C and D, next year you have to include A, B, C and D. Okay, more segments may be included or excluded, but these standards now will be reported for all the time to come. So second condition write down, if any segment was reported in past, then it should be reported in current year also. Did everyone understand this? So these are the main conditions to be followed for reporting. Anyone having any doubt on this? So look at page number. Just for understanding these conditions, we at least take up with one question, then theory etc. will see in the further lectures. Page number 27. Question number 4. Page number 27, question number 4. Identify the reportable segments aligned by profitability test for XYZ Limited Means which condition? Only second. Results condition. Profitability test. Okay, first we'll find absolute profits, then we'll find absolute loss, and we'll take whichever is higher. And then whichever segments percentage is more than 10% of total profit or loss should be reported. Okay, so make the columns this way. Total A, B, C, D, 5 segments are there. Question number 4, page number 27. Particulars, no heading except has to be given. A, B, C, D, E and total. As I discussed in case of profitability condition, that we have to find out absolute profit separately and losses separately. Okay, and whichever is higher, percentage of that is to be taken into consideration. Raise your hand, we're still making the columns. So first we'll find segment profits. Now which segments are in profit? You see that 450, 50. Only 2 are in profits. So total profits are 500, absolute. Now we take segments losses, 600. Now whichever is higher. Is absolute profit more or loss? Loss is more. Okay, absolute means ignore the negative sign. Is 500 more or 600 more? So each segment we have to identify as percentage of 600. Okay, so percentage of each segment's profit or loss on 600. You will take on 600. Okay. Below that we'll show the workings for that. Columnar workings only. Means for A, 450 divided by 600 into 100. How do you find the percentage? A's profit is 450. So 450 divided by 600 into 100. 70? 5%. Then 50 divided by 600 into 100, 8.33%. Then 350 divided by 600 into 100, 58.33%. Then 40 divided by 600 into 100, 6.67%. And 210 divided by 600 into 100, 35%. Any confusions in this? So, whichever segments you find more than 10% have to be reported. So 75 is more than 10, 58 is more than 10, 35 is more than 10. Means as per the profitability test condition, which segments you are going to report? A, C and E. Those C and E are in losses, but their proportion is huge, so they will be reported. B and D, though they are in profits and losses, but not major, it doesn't affect the organization as a whole, so they may not be reported. So below that you will write. Anyone still solving this? Completed? Thus, as per the profitability test, segments A, C and E. Segments A, C and E are reportable. Okay, they are reportable. Any kind of confusion in this? Now, one more can be done. Question number 2. Here all the 3 conditions will be applied. See that? Following is the data regarding 6 segments of Z Limited. Segments particulars A, B, C, D, E, F. So total there are 6 segments. Segments revenue means sales, first condition. Segments results means second condition, profit or loss. And assets means third condition. The finance director is of the view that it is sufficient that segment A and B alone be reported. No one's view will be accepted, only reporting standards are to be followed. So like we have made this table for only profits, now we'll make it for one table only, but 3 parts. Revenue first, then results, and then segments. Okay, and then we will see which segments are to be reported. Advice will be given accordingly. So make the columns. Question page 26, question 2. Now A, B, C, D, E, F. First we take segment revenue. Should I start with it? Everyone has made the columns. Now make bigger ones because 3 conditions are there. Okay. So with workings it will consume space, and if workings are not shown, then you must be able to calculate the percentage directly. So segment revenue first condition is of segment revenue. A is 150, B is 310, 40, 30, 40, 30. Now 150, 460, 500, 530, 570, 600. Okay. Percentage revenue of each segment. All of them will be divided by 600 and multiplied with 100. So 150 upon 600 into 100, 25%. 310 upon 600 into 100, 51.67. 40 divided by 600 into 100, 6.67%. Are you able to understand this? Everyone? They were remaining? Yes, 30 divided by 600 into 100, that is 5%. Then Ayushi, 40 upon 600 into 100, 6.67. And again 30 upon 600 into 100, 5%. Did everyone understand this? So this one condition is done. Okay. As per this condition, which are more than 10%? A, B. So as per this condition, A and B should be reported. Now we take segment results. In that first we take, yes, profits. Okay, segments, results, and as we discussed in the question 4 earlier, first we take profits. 20, B has loss, then C is 5, D is 5, E has a loss, and F is 15. So total absolute profits are 20, 25, 30, 45, and losses, B has 95 of loss, and E has 5 of loss, but it makes 100. Which one is higher? 100. So you will find percentage of 45 or 100? 100. Did you understand this, everyone? So percentage profit or loss of each segment, but on 100. Okay. Workings. Ankita? 20 divide by 100 into 100. 20%. Then Mohini. 95 divided by 100 into 100. 95%. 5 divided by 100 into 100. 5%. 5 divided by 100 into 100. 5%. 5 divided by 100 into 100. 5%. 15 divided by 100 into 100. 15%. Now, as per this condition, which segments are to be reported? A, B, F. Anyone having any doubt in this? And third condition will test for segment assets. Is anyone able to understand or not? Now, first of all, we note down each segment's assets. 20, 40, 15, 10, 10, 5. 20, 60, 80, 90, 100. Again, very simple. Percentages will remain same only because the total is 100. So, percentage assets of each segment. Workings. $20 divided by total 100 into 100, 20%. 40 divided by 100 into 100, total 40%. 15 divided by 100 into 100, 15%. 10 divided by 100 into 100, 10%. 10 divided by 100 into 100, 10%. 5 divided by 100 into 100, 5%. All are to be reported. No, overall. So 20, 40, 15, 10, 10 will be reported and F is included in second condition. Okay, so any confusions with the three tests to be done? All are clear with it? Very, very simple. Now we have to make overall summary of the reportable segments. So, as per the condition or test and reportable segments. Okay, as per the condition or test and reportable segments, as per the first segment revenue condition, as per the first condition segment revenue, which are the reportable segments? A and B. They are having more than 10% revenue. As per the second condition, segment results test or condition, which are the segments to be reported? A, B and F. As per the segment assets condition, third condition, which segments are to be reported? A, B, C, D, E. In short, all are to be reported. Now if you combine the three things, then we have to report A, B, C, D, E and even F, because F is included as per the second condition. So all the segments are to be reported. Now automatically additional conditions are satisfied or not? All are reported, means now lifetime all are to be reported. Did you understand this? Because any segment reported once means it has to be reported in the next year also. So write down this. Finance director is of wrong view. Thus, finance director is of wrong view. So, as per AS 17. 17. All the segments A, B, C, D, E, F are reportable. So all have understood this? So next week we'll finish this chapter also. It's a small chapter, just one. This question 1 and 3 are different ones where we have to make a report, segment report. So that we have to understand. Your homework will be University Papers questions 7A, 14A, 15C, 16A. They all are similar ones. Okay, 7A, 14A, 15C and 16A. You'll be surprised by 6 marks questions have been asked. Very, very schooling, okay? All of this which I have given you, they are of 6 marks. All these questions which I have been given, they are of 6 marks. More points will take up in the next lecture. Monday, no test of cash budgeting is to be done now. We'll do it after Uttarayan because already there will be a lot of holidays in the next 2 weeks. So we'll keep the regular classes. Income statement will continue on Monday. Okay, no test more.